Hello and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia, Amane's route. In the last episode, Amane carried out her raid and a picture ended up being seen by at least Makina and Sachi by accident. After that, the discussion went towards a certain lunch of Michiru, who happened to have sausages in her lunchbox. And interestingly enough, the conversation came to whether Yuuji's sausage, in quotation mark, was bigger than the sausage in Michiru's lunchbox. Meanwhile, Yuuji was out for television along with Chizuru, and that's where we'll continue now. 2 hours after my classmate's supremely vulgar conversation, I returned to the school with Chizuru. Currently, I'm receiving a hospitable cup of coffee in her office. Did you really even need a bodyguard today? Well, in retrospect, I suppose your services didn't prove strictly necessary, but even so, having you as an escort was helpful from a PR perspective, let's say. You see, when you're unmarried at my age, people tend to get rather suspicious about why. It's unfortunately common for the interviewers to veer away from the stated theme into more personal matters. So you wanted to walk into the studio with a young man in tow for the sake of your image? To be perfectly honest, I would say that might have been a good part of it, yes. Buying men just to show off like a new handbag, huh? Must be nice living at the top. Jeez, give me a break. I'll get plenty of that without you joining in. Here you go. Coffee's done. Quite the fragrant cup of coffee. Something wrong? Yes, it's coffee. I just slurred the word a bit. Why do you feel the need to mock me at every opportunity? Maybe if you got the marbles out of your mouth, people wouldn't take you for a pushover and ask you rude questions on live television. Just a thought. I was born with these mouth marbles. I was paying for your time today, you know? Show your employer some respect. Please do excuse my impoliteness, mistress. Goodness gracious, whatever am I to do with this young lady? True enough, my escort duty today was compensated at a fair wage, but that naturally passed through the company, meaning Ichigaya, JB, and the taxman got their cut. So my actual take-home pay amounted to a mere 2,500 yen for a full day's work. Of course, Chizuru's a friend, so the money isn't a big deal. I wouldn't have objected to doing the job for free, but as a professional, I'm contractually obligated to pick up whatever money I can for my services. The mission itself was hardly objectionable either, but after being forced into a gorgeous suit, carted off with some high-class salon to have my hair slicked down with gel, then having some trendy Furuki's eyeglasses with fake lenses pushed over my head, I'll be damned if I'm going to talk to the woman like I'm her butler on top of it all. Incidentally, how much longer will you be requiring my service for this little game of house, mistress? I'd really like to get out of this crappy tide sometime soon. Oh, don't say that. I think it's a good look for you. Stick around a little longer, why don't you? I was trying to avoid saying this, since it would be pretty irritating to have you think I'm whipped already. But to be honest, I want to avoid spending too much time alone with women. Goodness. I'm almost flattered you even include me in that category, but what would you be worried about? I'm a man in a relationship, somehow or other. I don't want to make Amane pointlessly anxious if I can help it. Oh, my. And here I had you down as a more no woman's gonna tell me what to do type. After all that time playing the bad boy, you turned out to be surprisingly timid at heart. That's right. I'm a coward by nature. I think that's what kept me alive so far. Cowards have a good nose for danger, and when they catch the scent, they avoid it like the plague. The rank of the hero might sound nicer, but you only get there through posthumous promotion. I'll pass for now. There are only 3 things worth sacrificing your life for. Your country, your friends, or your woman. And if you're willing to die for your woman, you damn well shouldn't go around making her unhappy. Amane reminds me of my mother in some ways. She puts up a bold front, but at heart she's pretty timid. Might act tough, but she'll fall to pieces if she tries to keep everything inside. Troublesome sort of woman, really. If you let her be for too long, she'll get cranky. But if you give her too much attention, it'll just make her all the more anxious. For the moment, I'm letting her do as she pleases. Hopefully we'll eventually get more comfortable together, but right now we're still kind of a sounding out phase. I don't want to give her any reason to feel uneasy. Wow, you sure don't seem like you know the first thing about how to handle relationships, but you're actually thinking this through pretty carefully. Well, I can't deny I'm completely inexperienced with this sort of thing. My closest point of reference is working with a partner in the squad, so I'm approaching it more or less the same way. You're more thoughtful than you let on. Ever considered becoming a school teacher? You might be well suited for the job. I've got enough headaches as it is, thanks. I chose a job I can do alone precisely because I'm not cut out for managing a group. But I must say, I'm a little surprised. You seem pretty damn serious about Susan. I'm still uncertain about just how serious I can take this relationship, but it's exactly because we're at that tentative stage that I'm not being half-assed about the details. What do you plan to do about your job? That's a big part of the uncertainty I just mentioned. So, like I said, how about becoming a teacher? Working here should be quite the effective cover, don't you think? Is that a serious offer? If you take it seriously, I'll certainly consider it seriously. I'll think about it. Not an unattractive proposal, to be sure. Chizuru's well acquainted with my circumstances, so working at her school wouldn't create any awkward problems or conflict with my main occupation. Even if I were to be suddenly called to my side job, it's perfectly possible to cancel lecture or bring in a substitute teacher. And that training camp that runs 10 days a year should be easy enough to fit into one of the long seasonal vacations that come with being an educator. To be honest, I can't predict how long my relationship with Amane will last. But nevertheless, some serious thought about our possible future together might be called for. Just as I'm beginning to lose myself in a serious contemplation of these matters, I encounter the woman in question sitting at the side of the hallway with an idiotic grin on her face. All of a sudden it feels ridiculous. Hey you. Uh-huh. Why are you sitting down in the hallway? Stricken by a sudden stomach ache?
Nope, try again.
Trying to hold a violent urge to defecate?
No, gross. Why would you even say that?
Don't tell me you've already soiled yourself.
I really don't get your determination to make this a fetish thing. Come on, just read the sign, okay?
What?
Amane is seated next to a row of vending machines, her bottom flat on the floor and her knees bent in front of her. There's a small sketchbook in her hands. And when I lean over to read the words, breasts 100 yen. The message induces a moment of mild dizziness, pinching the bridge of my nose to take a deep breath, then address Amane in a carefully calm tone of voice. Look, Amane. Yes?
Were you under the impression that my reaction to reading this sign would be, I don't know, something like, lucky me, here goes?
Huh? You're right, don't worry, it's free of charge for you, Yuuji.
That's not the damn problem here.
Whoa, you don't have to shout.
Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to yell, but can you just stand up already? Having a conversation like this is really awkward, alright?
Yeah, okay, what's wrong? You seem kind of angry.
Look, Amane. No, Amane-san, I have something to say to you.
Okay.
I, Kasama Yuuji, am not the composed, cool, and confident man you apparently think I am. To be perfectly honest, I was just moments ago worrying myself fairly seriously over my future with you and what path I should pursue in life. In other words, I was earnestly pondering the possibility of forming a family with you.
Wait, seriously?
Yes, seriously. You may have misunderstood things somewhat, but this Kasama Yuuji individual you've entangled yourself with has a surprisingly strong sense of responsibility. I pulled you into my life for my own selfish satisfaction, so I feel obligated to give you something more than sadness and regret. I'm not sure what to do yet, but I've been thinking it over. When the time comes, I want you to look back and think, I was right to choose this man. I want you to be happy we were together. I'm reconsidering my very way of life in hope that I can make that happen. And then I get breast 100 yen in the hallway. Can you perhaps imagine what I experience upon reading this? Allow me to express it in words. My god, am I seriously racking my brains over this ridiculous crap? I thought my legs were going to give out from under me. Do you understand?
Yeah, sorry.
To be honest, I'm not the good man you might have been imagining you'd end up with, but I'm trying very hard to become something like one. And here you're giving me the casual sex machine act. Makes me feel a little ridiculous about the whole thing. Do you see where I'm coming from?
I guess I do sort of understand, but I'm trying really hard myself, you know. I mean, you're literally the only guy in the school. It's practically a harem here in here, right? And here I am, nothing going for me but slightly oversized chest, but I've somehow monopolized you? A monopoly might sound good, but basically I've just gotten my licks in first, and I'm kind of uneasy, okay? I can't stop other girls from flirting with you. One of these days, maybe you'll end up falling into bed with someone else and decide, hey, this girl's better after all or something. And then I really do end up being nothing but a pathetically convenient woman to you, you know? So, well, I guess I figured this is the one thing I have that the other girls can't match. Kind of decided that I need to use every weapon at my disposal, you know? So I'm being brave and embarrassing myself like this for your sake. If you just shoot me down at this point, I don't have any idea what else I can do.
Amane.
Yuuji, do you hate breasts?
No, can't say I do. To be honest, I love them.
Then it's all good, right? I'm anxious too, you know. I've never dated a guy before and I don't have the first idea about what I need to do. So I wanted to make use of what I have and what others don't. Thought that might make you happy. That's really all there is to it, okay? It's true.
I see. No human action is devoid of meaning. Even tactics that seem utterly absurd are motivated by some sort of logic. I know that all too well from my time in the field. But today I got too caught up in my own worries and lost sight of that. Instead of looking at Amane's admittedly silly actions with the open mind and tolerance they deserved, I broke into an egotistical, insensitive lecture. Sorry, Amane. I'm still an immature brat sometimes. I've given this situation some careful thought, but I can only think of one thing to say. You might be a little down by my originality, but at least hear me out. Amane, I love you, alright? I really do. Very much.
Really?
I'm not going to lie at a time like this. I mean, it'd be nice if you could trust me on that without having to ask honestly.
That makes me really happy, Yuuji.
Maybe you'll take this the wrong way and start up with the he totally shot me down or my pride as a woman is in tatters crap again. But I've got my pride as a man too, you know. I don't mind being mocked, but when somebody says that guy's got nothing but breast on the brain, if I were to let it go, I'd be tacitly agreeing that the woman I fell in love with is a worthless idiot who just so happened to be blessed with a nice rag. Okay, yeah, ignoring the whispers of society sounds very noble and all, but I'm not going to put up with that kind of insult, even if it's coming out of your mouth. Point being, Amane, you can be more confident than this. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Nope, not really.
Why not?
Too complicated, and I don't really care. There's only one thing that matters here. You love me, right?
I just told you, didn't I? Don't make me repeat myself.
Ah, Yuuji, are you actually embarrassed?
Of course I'm embarrassed. Anybody would be.
Hey, Yuuji.
What now? Don't yank on my sleeve like that. What's with that smirk? You're like a cocky dog demanding a walk.
Come on, this way. Right over here, okay? Please?
Hey, stop pulling.
Come on, wanna kiss? Of course you do. Mwah.
Look, you.
Yuuji, I love you. I'll do anything for you. Come on, how about you take those pants off? No, sorry, want me to do it for you? By which you mean, I'm going to do it for you, whether you like it or not.
This woman is a runaway sex train.
Hey, wanna look at my titties? By which I mean, you're going to look at my titties. Here we go. Barably, aren't they?
Barably?
Short for big and round and jubbly. See? Barably.
I'm not sure what jubbly is supposed to mean, but big and round I can't deny.
I know, right? Come on, over here.
This is completely idiotic, but I'm unable to resist. Why?
You're thinking too much, Yuuji. I'm okay with being your convenient woman, you know?
Okay, but...
Huh?
I just don't get it. She's beyond casual about all of this. Is this just how young people are these days? I mean, I know I lived a life pretty well removed from the mainstream of modern society, but even so, it's not like I was on Mars or anything. I hadn't expected a culture shock quite this extreme. Hedonistic, playful sex using our bodies for purely sensual gratification. Perhaps such uninhibited pleasure-seeking should be indulgently tolerated as a privilege of youth. But from my perspective, it feels like something like coming home from Vietnam only to have a hippie hurl shit on my uniform. But more importantly, no matter how lightly Amane may approach our relationship, I cannot allow myself to be equally casual. Freedom isn't a license for irresponsibility.
For that reason, I don't think I can put off this discussion any longer.
Hey, Amane, I need to tell you something.
What's up?
It's important, alright? Listen carefully.
Huh? Look, I'm kind of busy making dinner right now, if you hadn't noticed.
I know, it won't take long.
Fine, so what is it?
About my part-time job, my workplace, that is.
Ah, is that what this is all about? It's not something you're really supposed to talk about, is it? Don't feel like you have to.
But, well...
It's fine. JP and Sakagi-san told me I'd be happier staying in the dark anyway.
And you're willing to accept that?
Yep, that I am.
I see.
Can I get back to making dinner now?
Yeah.
They had shellfish from Hiroshima really cheap today, you know? I decided to give us stir-fried oysters a try. You're okay with them, right?
They're a favorite of mine, actually.
Good, glad to hear it.
What's wrong?
Almost forgot. I have something for you, Yuuji. Here you go.
What's this thing? A stuffed dog?
It's a lucky protective charm of my own design and manufacture. This guy's stuffed with my hair, you know.
And for some reason you've written "drive carefully" on it.
Well, I don't know what you do with that job of yours, you know. But it's dangerous work, right?
Yep, that it is.
And so the lucky charm. Makes sense, see?
I'm sorry, Amane.
Nothing to be sorry for. If you come back to me safe and sound, I don't care about the rest.
Alright then. Thank you, Amane.
You're very welcome.
You're a good woman, Amane. You know that? A hell of a good woman. Took a focused effort on my part not to start blubbering like an idiot. I guess most people would probably snicker to hear me say it. Kind of overreacting over a little trinket like that, aren't you? But for me, it's more than enough. If I had to make an analogy, maybe it's something like a short letter from the homeland that reaches a ragged, dispirited soldier on the front lines. A single sheet of paper written by some anonymous female student as a class assignment. Sometimes that's enough to give a man courage and the determination to go on. Human beings are simple creatures at heart. As I hold Amane's amulet in my hand, a thought strikes me. A dog, huh? I told her she resembles a dog the other day, so I think it's fair to say that this was a considered choice. Not only a lucky charm, but also something of a forget-me-not. Dangerous work, yeah, that it is, no denying it. One way or another, this relationship might end up leaving her miserable. That's weighed heavily on my mind all this time. But when I accepted Amane's feeling in the form of that charm, I felt as though I've received something else in bargain. Something like a home. There's no reason to overthink this anymore. No reason to get caught up speculating about what might go wrong. If I have a home, all I need to think about is how to keep on fighting my way back to it. I'm done worrying. Yuuji, it's that time again. Let's break out the lunchbox. Yep, sounds like a plan.
Today we got a stew with veggies rich in beta-carotene and roots packed full of saponin. And for the main course, grilled mackerel bursting with omega-3 fatty acids. Lots of calcium for a growing boy too, good for the bones.
Indeed, sounds nice. Mackerels happen to be a favorite of mine.
See, here it is, chopped to a nice golden brown, cooked to a nice golden brown, isn't it? Might not believe it, but I actually cooked this in the microwave. Well, it's a pretty convenient place these days. Here, I'll feed you some. Say, Huh?
What's wrong? Go ahead.
What is this? You're not even fighting back? It's kind of creepy. Are you plotting something?
What do you want from me? If you're going to feed me, hurry up and get started. Waiting with my mouth hanging open makes me feel like a complete idiot.
Yeah, okay then. Mackerel coming your way. Open wide.
Damn good. Okay, how about some vegetables next? Give me some of that boiled lotus root.
Yeah, the lotus. Here you go. Give me an
Yep, this is delicious too.
Whoa, what's going on here? I'm kinda happy. No, hold on. What is this? Why are you playing along all of a sudden?
I came to the realization that I never had much in the way of dignity to begin with. No point in acting proud. If you want to do this sort of thing, Amane, I'll go along with it.
Really? It's funny though, it's almost sad to hear you say that.
Are we done then? It's kind of a pain to have to ask you for every mouthful, to be honest. I'd rather eat as I please.
Okay. Ah, lucky. This mushy couple game looks like fun. Hey, Uni-chan, I want to try too. Come on, open wide. Give me an
You don't get it, Makina. Dropping food into a man's mouth is a privilege reserved for his girlfriend. If you want me to eat off your chopsticks, you need to get the express written consent of Amane, notarized in triplicate.
Ah, the heck's up with that. Oh, come on. I'm not really gonna get mad over something as minor as that.
You're dangerously soft. The more you let little things slide, the faster they'll pile up into a serious problem. Makina, if you want to play Sappy Lovebirds, you can do it with Sachi.
Yes? Did somebody say my name?
Ah, Sachi. Sorry, but would you mind playing a sickeningly lovey-dovey couple with Makina?
A lovey-dovey couple, is it? What exactly would that entail?
Alright, step 1 would be to open your mouth.
Huh? Okay.
There you are, Makina. Feed Sachi to your heart's content.
What? A freaking stand-in? Well, whatever. Sachi, open that mouth wide, okay? Whoopsie-doops. Huh? It ain't going in.
Maggie, it's just too big. There's no way it's gonna fit in my mouth. Good. We have ourselves a lightly erotic undercurrent. This should be acceptable.
No, it really isn't. And why don't you just let her feed you? Anyway, it's hardly a big deal.
I refuse. For one thing, it's embarrassing.
Is it? You seemed perfectly fine with it a minute ago.
Right, but that's because you were the one feeding me, Amane. There's no damn way I'm going to let anyone else do something like that.
Ah, really?
Look, can we just eat already?
Yeah, but don't you feel a little sorry for Makina?
These sort of ground rules inevitably get relaxed with the passing of time, so it's wise to start off by making them a little on the strict side. If you're too lenient from the beginning, you'll pay for it later.
Oh, kinda makes sense.
Also, Makina's really just looking for some attention. No real need to get it from me in particular. Just take a look, she certainly seems to be enjoying herself.
Okay, Sachi, next up we got some green cauliflower. Maki-chan, that's called broccoli. Huh? Really? It doesn't seem any different except for the color, you know? They're entirely different things, I assure you. That a fact. Well, not that I really care either way. Are you enjoying the sappy couple game? Nah, could be better. When you get right down to it, I think I prefer being served to serving. I'll be Unishin now. You play Amane, okay, Sachin? Yes, certainly. Let's give it a shot. Amane, I need a word. What's up, Yuuji? Habanero cheese curd! Maki-chan, Amane, I need a word, and habanero cheese curd may rhyme, but the phrases have no other logical relation whatsoever. Close enough, aren't they? Seem like a natural transition to me. A curd and a word are very different things. A few letters can change things entirely. As in the dramatic gap in efficiency between the N1K-J and the N1K2-J violet lightning? I don't understand your comparison, Maki-chan. Okay, simple example. Something like the change in performance between a prototype Archetype 3 and a mass production Archetype 4. That's totally over my head as well. Something about airplanes? What's with that? All airplanes are basically the same anyway, is it? That frame of mind is exactly how people end up embarrassing themselves confusing a key 61 with a P51D, you know. Sorry about that. I'll look all this up later, okay? Very well, acceptable. Now feed me! Okay, say, what do you think? Is it tasty? Indeed, very satisfactory. A meatball next and make it snappy. Yes, one meatball coming up. I rolled these up myself, you know. My hands were still gooey from touching myself at the time, so it was quite a messy job. Here, open wide. Do you like it? Delectable work, maggot! Hey, Yuuji, don't you think it's about time we put a stop to this? With physical violence if necessary?
What the hell? Is that really how we appear to them? If so, I think I may have to consider a bout of borderline suicidal depression. I mean, do I really go around talking like a drill instructor with a stick up his ass? Whatever else you could say about me, I always wash my hands before I cook. Okay, Yuuji, next up is fried shrimp. It's tasty right down to the tail. Very well, however chewing it would be a pain in the ass. You're going to masticate it for me, woman. Huh? Okay.
Chewed it yet? Once you reduce it to mush, hurry up and let me have it. Right then, open your mouth, okay? Well, do you like that?
Yeah, delicious.
Well, hey, cut it out, you two. That's way over the top. We don't do anything like that for your information.
Oh, no hesitation even when given an utterly outrageous order. Is that your pro or what?
Don't just sit there being impressed. Help me break this up. Also, don't get impressed with something like that.
Then again, pulling them apart now might only fuel the flames of their forbidden love, don't you think?
No, I really don't.
Alright, you two, that's enough. Mommy's getting angry, so the game's over. Stop playing with your food and eat it.
Okay. Lately, I think there have been some subtle changes in the way my acquaintances approach me. My decision to stop overthinking things probably has something to do with it. You've gotten a slightly peaceful look on your face recently, you know that?
Have I?
Something like the calm of a person who's rode out a vicious storm, I suppose. You seem almost refreshed somehow.
Can't say I'm particularly conscious of it.
Well, I think it's changed for the better, although I'm slightly worried you might lose your backbone entirely and make a costly mistake at your job, I suppose.
Come to think of it, I'd been planning to have this discussion at some point. Tell me, Sakagi, how much have you dug up?
My, on what exactly?
My employer, of course.
Asahi Clean LLC or whatever it was. I did think it was a rather mysterious little company to only have a single telephone number registered, but that would be the extent of what I know about it.
I don't care that you know the truth, but do me a favor and don't spread it around to the others.
I wouldn't tell them even if they asked me point blank. I don't want them thinking me of some deranged conspiracy theorist.
So you do know after all.
I'm telling you, I don't.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Even if the guy who's asking seems like an ally, keep on playing dumb to the very end.
You're such a troublesome man.
That, at least, I'm conscious of.
Well, do try your best to not make Susan cry, yes? I don't think she could endure a repeat.
What's that supposed to mean?
Goodness, for some reason I seem to be rather loose-lipped today. Forget I said that, if you'd be so kind.
Does it have something to do with the reason Amane is at this school?
Yes, it does.
Alright, then I won't ask you anything more.
Just as I have things I can't speak of to anyone, I'm aware that Amane probably wants to keep certain parts of her past to herself. And if Amane doesn't need to know my secrets, I don't need to know hers. Well, even if you don't ask, I think Susan will tell you herself someday, although it might take some time.
I don't intend to drag it out of her.
Noble of you, but if her silence continues, she is the one who will come to suffer.
What?
Please excuse me, I am really dangerously talkative today. It's your fault for looking so oddly approachable lately.
Don't blame the victim.
My apologies, I'll be going now.
Hey, hold on. What is wrong with that woman? Drops hints left and right, then runs for the damn hills.
Amane's secret. I honestly have no idea what it might be. But just as she's accepted me without question, I'm willing to accept her as she is. Simple as that. I've already decided as much. Nothing else matters.
What? If it isn't Michiro, something wrong?
What were you and Yumiko talking about just now?
We were just making small talk.
Stop right there! Don't get any closer!
What? Okay, for one thing, I haven't taken a single step. What's the problem here?
Don't give me that! I saw you whispering secretly with Yumiko. What do you think you're doing? You do know you're Amane's boyfriend now, right?
No, that's news to me. I'm aware that Amane is my girlfriend, though.
What? The heck are you talking about? What's this supposed to mean?
Means exactly what it sounds like. Look, what are you so angry about anyway?
Listen up and listen good. You're Amane's boyfriend now. If you chat with another girl alone in the hallway, that's cheating.
I don't really follow the logic here, but wouldn't that mean I'm cheating by talking to you right now?
Why do you think I'm laying down the law and keeping you at a distance? You just stay right where you are. Don't move!
Look, I haven't budged at any point in this conversation.
Anyway, the point is cheating is bad, evil, totally not okay. Never ever!
Tell me something. Why do you keep finishing your sentences with little bursts of awkward English?
Shut up, will you? I just had an English lesson, not that it's any of your business. What do you care anyway? For crying out loud, I can't believe you. Look away for a second and you're off flirting with the nearest available woman.
I really don't remember flirting with anyone.
No excuses. Sip it and listen. I don't know what you think about Amane, nor do I care, but here's the thing, Amane is serious about this.
Well, yeah, I guess you wouldn't usually give a guy your virginity as part of an elaborate practical joke.
Mookie! There you go again! What's with this attitude? I guess from your point of view, Amane's just some innocent country girl you can play around with for a while, then toss aside until when you get bored, huh? You monster, devil!
Amane is from Tokyo, I'm pretty sure.
What the heck does that matter? That's not the point. I'm trying to say that Amane is way more pure and fragile than a jerk like you might think. Jeez, can you figure that out for yourself? God, you're so thick-headed!
You're completely incomprehensible. What do you want from me exactly?
I want you to treat Amane better. You're beyond lucky to have her, you know that? She's way too good for the likes of you.
True enough, I'm aware of that. I'll take good care of her.
Fine, as long as you got the message. But if I see you cheating again, I won't be so merciful. You're gonna taste my flying kick to the head.
Yeah, understood. But just so you know, any such action on your part may very well cause me to counterattack reflexively. Allow me to apologize in advance.
Hey, you don't get to counterattack. You're in the wrong in that scenario, you know?
I do understand that, but I can't control my unconscious mind. Well, let's see. If it turns out that way, I guess I'll pay your hospitalization fees.
Hospitalization? Just what kind of counter are you planning to break out on me? Are you for real?
I'll be as careful as possible, but I'd ask you to do the same. Don't start shrieking about cheating every time you get suspicious. Before you accuse someone of a misdeed, you need to calm down and think things over rationally.
As if I didn't know that already. Forget you, jerk!
This one's even worse than the last. Spits out a bunch of nonsensical accusations, then vanishes as quickly as she appeared. Annoying. Yeah, to be honest, I think annoying pretty much covers it. From all accounts, the world seems to be experiencing something of a Sundara boom at the moment. But I'm deeply and sincerely glad I didn't end up with something like that for a girlfriend.
Sheesh, why are there so many noisy girls hanging around me anyway?
How long have you been there?
I heard Michiru snarling, so I came to take a look, but it seemed like you guys were talking about me, so it was kind of hard to butt in.
Do you have any idea why she's so angry at me in the first place?
Well, I think she was probably showing some concern for me in her own way.
Yeah, but it kind of felt like she was throwing a hissy fit while she was at it.
Yeah, she might have been letting off some frustration as well. I mean, think about it, we started dating pretty much out of nowhere after all. Can't have been fun to have that news dropped on her.
Maybe it was a surprise. I don't see how us dating affects her in any way.
Even stuff that doesn't affect you can be irritating, right? Also, you might be a little surprised to hear it, but the girl doesn't really dislike you.
I'm not so sure about that.
So from Michiru's perspective, it's annoying enough that you brushed her aside, but seeing you treat the girl you chose instead badly would probably piss her off even worse.
Am I treating you badly? Might not be obvious, but I'm actually trying pretty hard to be considerate of you.
I feel quite sufficiently loved, personally.
So, in the end, Michiru just wanted to bitch at me over nothing. That's what you call a hissy fit.
Let's call it a minor spat of jealousy, okay? I mean, if I were in her shoes, I'm pretty sure I'd be saying, you'd better take good care of Michiru, in the exact same way.
Women are such a pain in the ass.
That's right, we're a pain in the ass, every last one of us. Speaking of which, mind if I give you a little more trouble? You're up for it, right?
Up for what? Spare me the unattached pronouns.
Oh, come on, you know what I'm talking about. I haven't had my daily bullying yet. Let's do it, okay? Please.
What, here?
I wouldn't mind heading back to the dorm first, but I know. Come here, okay?
Look, what are you planning?
Come on, just roll with it. I'm the one who decided to accept Amane, to be considerate of her needs and play along with the games. Can't very well complain about such minor moments of selfishness. For one thing, I'm pretty sure there's more to this physical neediness than her generally aggressive personality. If my acceptance offers Amane some reassurance, some relief from her anxiety, that's enough for me. There's no reason to run my mouth. And that's where we'll end the episode. So, they are going at it pretty pretty rapidly, aren't they? I guess that's to be expected with Amane's personality. But anyway, we shall see what happens further in the story in the next episode. But until then, take care.